Hey guys, Andreas here doing another quick toy review, and this is for a figure that I found over here in a store called Lidl. They have them, I'm pretty sure they have them over most of Europe, and I think they're probably in the US in certain places as well. But this is a 12-inch scale, or 1:6 scale, Star Wars Darth Maul. It's based on the Titan Heroes, or is it the Heroes series? I think they're called, but they're Titan Heroes. So the figure overall is fairly kind of solid, or fairly kind of hollow plastic. It does have some articulation points, so it has joints up in the arms, go just swivel all the way around. He also has a swivel at the elbow, so you can rotate the arm around. Now, one thing to note is that the arms from the elbows down are made from a different material, a more rubbery kind of material compared to the rest of the figure, and then he just has single leg joints at the hip and no knee joints or anything like that, and he's kind of a solid piece. Now, the reason that I picked this guy up is because he looked interesting enough. Forgive the squeaks in the background. He has this kind of clip-on armor stuff, so there's a bit of assembly required when you get this. The shoulder part is actually separate in the box. This is the box he came in just quickly. It's done in the Star Wars Rebels deco, so you have like the trooper with the Rebels logo kind of imprinted onto his helmet that looks like a flame. I think it's like a phoenix, and you got just the same kind of greyish with blue on the orange bordering, and then there's a small bit about Darth Maul in the back. Other figures in the wave is Garazeb Aurelius, or Zeb, from Rebels, and there's also Kanan and the Inquisitor. The only other figure I saw was Zeb, and Zeb also has a bit of an armor extra piece, but other than that he's the same as kind of the standard 3 3/4 inch. Basically what these guys are is they're kind of like upscaled versions of the Mission Series figures, the standard Rebels and Star Wars figures, the 3 3/4 inch, with maybe 1 or 2 different articulation points. The other thing that comes with then is these gauntlets that just clip onto the arm. And just get them to fit on, and they just slide over the gloves on the arms, and he looks pretty cool with the armor. I'll just bring him up a little bit closer. The head sculpt is actually quite nice, if we can get it to focus on it. It's quite a good looking Darth Maul, and he also comes with his trademark dual bladed lightsaber. It is separate in the box, so you have one side like that and one side like that in the box, and you just have a peg to peg the two of them together if you want, or you can have them separate if you want. It does hold it quite nicely. And just get them into the hands. The hands are rubbery, as I said, so he does hold it quite nicely, and because of the hands being, the wrists being able to swivel, I know I might be a little bit off camera doing this, so bear with me. You can actually get some decent two-handed poses. He has no waist swivel, but he does look pretty cool with the armor and the dual blade in hand. Now he's a little bit tricky to get balanced on this on the background, or the backdrop that I'm using. He does stand quite well on solid ground. It's just this is a bit more kind of a wool material, so it's not sitting too correctly, but he does fit fairly well. He has no neck articulation. Now, one thing I was thinking, which would have been cool, I know Hasbro probably wouldn't do it, would be, even though they have 3 different scales at the moment, there's the Titan series, and there's the 6-inch black series, and then there's the 3 3/4 inch kind of basic, and there are also the 3 3/4 inch 3 3/4 inch black series that's supposed to be coming out. It would have been cool if they had kind of kept the 6-inch scale kind of details for these guys, and just did a kind of upscaled version, a 12-inch scale version of one of the Black Series. Even though I know a lot of people probably would prefer to have proper cloth kind of clothing and stuff like that. There is still soft good stuff on some of the Black Series, but it would have been cool to kind of have just like basically upscaling the 6-inch Black Series to have the same level of articulation points, or the 12-inch guys having the same level of articulation points as the 6-inch Black Series. It would have been pretty cool, because it kind of, even though there is Hot Toys figures out there for, you know, super die-hard collectors, even though but they're kind of really overpriced, it would have been pretty cool to see something similar from Hasbro, of like a collector series 12-inch line with the tooling from the Black Series 6-inch figures. So they'd be solid plastic sculpts, but with the articulation points. But there you go, guys, just a quick review. The armour doesn't go really around the back, so you just lose that. Sculpting wise, the figure is pretty good. I know it's only kind of like almost a basic 5 points of articulation figure, but saying that, the level of detail in the sculpt is far better than the kind of older 12-inch series 12-inch series Darth Maul figures that were available around the time of the Phantom Menace. They don't have as goofy proportions as some of those figures, because those figures, those older vintage figures, had oversized gloves and they looked far out of place. They did have articulation points, even though still some of them didn't have great articulation anyway, so the trade-off is probably better sculpting for less articulation. So there you go, guys, just a quick review of this guy, and hopefully you enjoyed my video. If you did, click like. If you want to subscribe, feel free to subscribe, and if you want to comment on the video, feel free to comment. Hopefully he's been in frame for most of this video, because I can't really see the camera lens too much at this angle, but there you go, guys, just my quick review. Hope you enjoyed it.